Good morning. Beloveds, come into this space of curiosity. Come with your joys and your uncertainties, your hopes and hesitations, your longing to belong. Today we gather to celebrate curiosity, not as a demand for answers, but as an invitation into deeper relationship that reaches gently, that listens before speaking, that honors the sacred boundaries of another life. And today, as we welcome new covenantal members into this beloved community, yes, we're welcoming new members. We remember that every new voice expands us. Every new story reshapes us. Every new relationship calls us to grow more courageous in love. So may this gathering be a sanctuary for curiosity, a refuge for belonging, and a celebration of the sacred work of becoming community together. Come, let us celebrate.
Thank you so much. Good morning, and welcome to the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I'm Mary Gibb, your service associate this morning, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. It is lovely to see all your smiling faces, and I'm sure everyone in the choir and in the service is thrilled to be up here to be able to look out at all of you. Whether you're joining us in person or online, we're glad you're here. We hope you feel the welcome and love of this fellowship surrounding you. If you would like to see a written order of service, the QR code on our screens will take you to the order of service for this morning. Our book for sharing joys and concerns is near the main doors of the sanctuary. You're welcome to write a brief personal note in it, and please mark whether you would like it to be read aloud later in this service. If you'd like a lay pastoral care associate or a neighborhood connector to get in touch with you, please add your contact information. You may do that at any time until the book is brought up here towards the end of the hour. This morning, the choir will sing our welcome words. I invite you to really take in these musical welcome words and imagine how it might change the way you interact with people you are just getting to know and those you already know.
Only love is welcome here. Only love is welcome here. Only love, love, sweet love. Only love is welcome here. Only kindness is welcome here. Only kindness is welcome here. Only kindness, yes, loving kindness. Only kindness is welcome here. So bring your pain and bring your sorrow. Bring your sorrow. Bring your hope and bring your fears. And we will wrap our loving arms around you, because love is welcome here.
Here is where we give you the permission you may not have given yourself to show up and be your most authentic self. You can cry here. You can take your time here. To be you is not a crime here. We are all divine here. We shine brighter when we all shine here. We rise higher when we all rise here. We practice being kind here. We celebrate the fact that we are still alive here. Love, only love, is welcome here. You can make mistakes here. No guilt, blame, or shame here. There's only grace here. We know you by name here. We've been waiting for you. So glad you came here. We hope that you stay here. All that you are can be reclaimed and embraced here. Only love is welcome here.
So bring your pain and bring your sorrow. Bring your sorrow. Bring your hope and bring your fear. And
where we give you the permission you may not have given yourself to show up and be your most authentic self. Only love is welcome here.
Many thanks to the Fellowship Choir, to Tad Karyath, and to Fernanda Nieto, playing a wonderful duet on the piano. To Cameron Wise on the iPad synth. Where are you, Cameron? There you are. And Debbie Larson on percussion. and to all of them for leading our wonderful music. And to Amy Austin, who just this morning was nominated as hymn leader. And we're thankful for the tech team, who does an amazing amount of work behind the scenes that you don't even know about, but who do an incredible amount of work in the background. Larry Sherwood, Scott Humans, and Kathy Partridge. Today, we also want to acknowledge the ongoing work of the Half Plate Committee. This practice supports the social justice programs of our congregation, our local partners, and worldwide organizations that work for peace, positive change, and humanitarian aid. This team decides on the recipients of half of our collection plate using guidelines established over, I believe, the last 15 years, and lets the congregation know about the work of the organizations that we donate to. For the last few years, the team has consisted of Diane Ladd, Anne Marie Jensen, Kathleen Jones, and myself. And if you are here in the audience, please stand. There you go. There's Anne Marie. So we thank you for your fine work. And this is the time of chaos, I'm told, when you get to greet those around you.
Ready? As we light our chalice this morning, invite you into a time of reflection. And if you have a chalice at home, please light it with us as we light our fellowship chalice and say these words along with us. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. I now invite our singing bowl to call us more deeply into the present moment, centering our hearts and our spirits as we prepare for the sacred act of offering and receiving the gift of membership, with it those joining us in our beloved community today. The life of a religious community is filled with both small and great occasions. Because the core of this free congregational faith is its congregations and their members, among the most sacred of these events is the welcoming of new members. Today, we are celebrating the welcoming of new members into our beloved community here at Boulder Valley UU Fellowship. I would like to ask Lucy Williams from our Member Engagement Council, Nancy Delora from our board president, and Andrea Ray, Jean Ray, and Catherine Wood to join me here on the chancel. We can come over here. We want you center stage. Catherine, if you want to sit, you can sit or stand, either way. Okay. It is an honor to welcome you to membership at Boulder Valley UU Fellowship. As we do this, we extend an invitation to each of you who are members of this beloved community. And I'm saying this to you, not to you. We extend an invitation to each of you who are members of our beloved community to reflect on this day, on the day that you signed the membership book and you pledged to hold this community as an instrumental part of your spiritual journey. If you are not a member of our congregation, I ask you to consider how the commitment of covenantal membership in our beloved community will support your spiritual journey. And I ask all who are present, both here and far, to be warmed by recognizing the gifts that each of us brings to our community. Covenantal membership for us as Unitarian Universalists represents a sacred promise we make to one another to love and to care for each other. Joining is easy, but membership is not, because a member accepts responsibility for continuing and sharing a lifelong journey. As members of this congregation, we endeavor to grow spiritually through an intergenerational community as we bring love and justice to this world. As minister of this beloved congregation, I bid you welcome. Ours is a lifelong journey together. I charge you to share with us your creative thoughts. I charge you to share with us your life story, your questions, your doubts, your discoveries, and those values that matter to us most. I also charge you to shake us up with your honest thinking, to stir us with your conscience, and to stimulate us with your dreams. I'm so glad you are here. We're all glad you are here. Welcome to this faith community, to Unitarian Universalism, and welcome to the ship.
I would like to introduce each of our new members to you, and if you could hold your applause until the end. Jean Ray. Jean was one of the first 50 women to graduate from Georgia Tech. She discovered UUism in Northwest Alabama, where her late husband Jim worked at the Tennessee Valley Authority, and they needed a village to raise their 2 children. She worked at TVA as a chemist, and later as a materials engineer at Boeing in Seattle. She tested new materials for use on planes and investigated safety issues. They were members of the Saltwater UU Church. She recently moved to South Boulder to be near her daughter, Andrea. Andrea Ray. Andrea grew up in the Muscle Shoals UU Fellowship in Alabama and lived in Chicago and Washington, D.C. before coming to Boulder for grad school in geography. She's a scientist at NOAA, working on transitioning climate and weather research into use as NOAA products and for applications in risk management and planning. She lives in South Boulder. Catherine Wood grew up in Boulder and earned degrees from Cotty College, University of Northern Colorado, and the University of Colorado. She was a middle and high school teacher for 22 years while raising 2 stepchildren, Mike and Julie. She currently resides at Balfour Senior Living in Louisville, where she is president of the resident council and runs the book club.
As a covenantal community, we pledge to travel and journey in an intentional relationship and co-create a sacred bond of community. Today, we rededicate ourselves to our vision of bringing love and reason to life and building a just and compassionate world. As we welcome you among us, we pledge to you our support. You will be cared for, and you will be asked to care for others. Together, we can make our congregation a model of our vision for the larger community. If you, the congregation, agree to so covenant with Jean Ray, Andrea Ray, and Catherine Wood, please respond in one voice, "We will." We will. Congregation, will you welcome our new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? We will. Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts our new members bring to us? We will. Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? We will.
Today, we welcome you with open hearts and open arms. In the sacred spaces of Boulder Valley UU Fellowship, many have gathered for nearly 50 years, seeking a higher purpose and deeper life than they could find alone. We are grateful today for you, that you have found your way here, and that you have decided to make a commitment to this beloved community. We hope that as a member of this congregation, you will allow yourselves to know each of us and to be known by us as yours, to minister to us and to be ministered to love and to be loved by this congregation. Will you accept from us our gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service? I will. All right. will you offer to us your unique identity, presence, and gifts? Will you add your name to the long history of Unitarian Universalists who spread hope with our living faith?
Yes.
Will you engage with Boulder Valley UU Fellowship as we seek to create a beloved community and work to co-create a world dedicated to love and justice?
Yes.
As members of this congregation, we pledge to be guardians of each other's spirits, to respect the ultimate privacy of each one's human struggle, and to affirm everyone's inherent worth and dignity. We embrace the bonds of fellowship and love to cultivate reverence, promote spiritual growth, and embrace an ethical commitment to minister to each other's needs and to those of humanity, to celebrate the sacred moments of life's passages, and to honor the holiness and humanness at the center of our being. As members of the Boulder Valley UU Fellowship, we covenant to live out the following promises to the best of our ability. So I invite all who are gathered here today to state out loud our congregational covenant. We covenant to be a fellowship welcoming to all, where our differences are a source of deep learning and spiritual growth. We strive to promote love, reason, and respect as we work together to build a just and compassionate world. We are so glad that you have chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with you on your life's journeys.
By signing the membership book, we indicate our desire to take upon ourselves the privileges and responsibilities of membership in this congregation. We invite you to sign our membership book as a symbol of becoming covenantal members of our community. On behalf of the Member Engagement Council, I confirm that today the names of Andrea Ray, Jean Ray, and Catherine Wood have been entered into the rolls of membership of Boulder Valley UU Fellowship, our beloved community.
And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my privilege to welcome you as the newest members of the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We hope you find with us a place where you can both nurture your spirit and be a part of healing the Word. Let's give them another round of applause.
The choir and I would like to add another element of welcome to our new members today. We'd like to sing this song by Leah Davis. She is the music director down at First Unitarian Society in Denver. She's a wonderful composer and a pianist. And this piece, Follow the Sound, to me anyway, really captures the essence of curiosity and investigation and kind of probing and not settling for pat answers to questions, which is common to many spiritual paths, but I think particularly important to Unitarian Universalists, I'd say. So, welcome new members. I'm going to sing this song for you. Also, my mother went to Cotty College, so she's going to be here in a couple of weeks. You two can talk about that.
Following
It's a creaky mic. Love that song. Reaching for the sky above me, looking within me. It's wonderful. So as you might have figured out, the theme of the service is curiosity, awakening curiosity. I've always been curious, and the current accessibility to all kinds of information in that gadget I carry around in my purse has me satisfying my curiosity 50 times a day, which is really too much when there are other things to do and people to interact with. So I cannot deny that it was curiosity that caused me to walk into a UU church almost 50 years ago. Before that, when I was really young, like under 6 years old, my parents might have said I was a bit difficult, as curiosity at a young age led me to places I wasn't supposed to be, and situations from which I have somehow come out unscathed. I like to show the boys in the neighborhood how I could climb to the top of trees. I like to go to the basement in my elementary school and throw coal in the furnace. And I like to cross big, busy streets to visit friends, all of which I didn't tell my parents anything about. Somehow they found out, though. They like to say, the grass is always greener on the other side. But as a kid, I thought the aphorism meant go to the other side because it's better. So that's what I did. Into young adulthood, I was still doing the same thing, and finally I stopped. And now I kind of cringe thinking about all those things. But while this outward behavior was going on, in my inner world, my curiosity about existence was boundless. My childhood friends were children and grandchildren of immigrants who were Jews, Italians, Poles, Holocaust survivors, Irish Catholics, and an African American girl across the street who lived with her grandmother who was born into slavery. My parents didn't hold back and told me what they knew of the histories of their families and their cultures. I began to ponder why some were born to be rich or comfortable and others to live lives of poverty and struggle. While it seems like a silly question to an adult, it went along with the other big questions like, where does our soul go after death? Where are we before birth? Who made the world and why? And if it was a God as they said it was, who made God? When I was in elementary school, a child would be chosen to read a passage of their choosing from the Bible every morning. This was public school. And these passages were written on the blackboard for us to copy to practice our penmanship. I became curious about why this so-called religious book had so much scary drama in it. My growing years were filled with curiosity about religious belief, followed by doubt. And I doubted that I could believe the theology of my birth religion. It wasn't until I took a class in the UU church I attended as an adult called Building Your Own Theology. It's a curriculum still used today, although expanded and revised many times. It was then that thoughts began to coalesce for me. In the class, we read excerpts from works of deep thinkers and were asked to journal throughout to come to our own conclusions. We were invited to share what we had written too. At that point, I began to verbalize my beliefs and understandings, and I understood that I didn't have to come up with a name for my theology. That Unitarian Universalism meant that I had the freedom to explore, that there was no dogma, that I could change my mind, that I could be legitimately curious and not be branded a heretic. My journey to being UU is driven by curiosity. What kind of place is this? Who are the people here, and what do they believe? Do I have to believe what they believe? I'm still curious. So when I meet you here for the first time or the 100th time, I may ask you, what brings you here today? And I really want to know. I want you to feel welcome, and I want you to know, and I want to know why you chose to visit this place on your precious Sunday morning. I might ask, what brings you here? What came up for you in the service today? Tell me about yourself. What do you like to do? And if these questions feel too intrusive and you don't want to answer, I get it. My curiosity doesn't have to lead to your discomfort. Actually, any innocuous answer will do, whatever feels right for you. But I encourage you to be curious too. Whether you are new or have been here a while, don't hang up your curiosity at the door. Ask the questions you need to ask in order to feel comfortable here. You may receive one answer or many. Like life, UUs are not one-dimensional. Let's all be appropriately curious. Let's go beyond assumptions or instant judgments and recognize the importance of truly getting to know one another. If we can do that, we can build a community based on justice, love, and compassion that can move mountains. Each week, part of the outward-facing ministry of this community is giving half of our offering plate away to organizations that share our values. Today, in Mental Health Awareness Month, the half plate collection is for Together Colorado and their work for mental health access. Local congregation members are working alongside other advocacy groups through Together Colorado to help ensure that county mental health funding is distributed promptly to organizations that can do the most for our community. Members of our congregation helped develop the county's behavioral health roadmap, and we are continuing to advocate for that roadmap to be funded as fully as possible. You can text your donation to the number on the screen or place a donation in the offering plate as it passes. And I invite us to pass the plate with a spirit of generosity and blessing, as each of us can offer various blessings in our community. Thank you for offering what you can. for the work of the fellowship, and Together Colorado, we dedicate these offerings. Thank you for your gifts today.
When I started to write this, so some of you know I speak pretty extemporaneously, so I don't have a hard manuscript. And so when I started to work on this message, I was working on my service last week with the Columbine Church, and Columbine said, hey, why don't you just, use something that you're already using? And I'm like, great, I can use what I'm going to use next week at Boulder Valley. And when I thought about it, I thought about, naming this sermon, instead of about curiosity, but naming it, what assumptions do. And, we all know what that term means, right? When we assume, it makes out of a you and a me. And following, Mary's reflection is really gives me a good space to be in with this congregation and this community. Because when we talk about welcome and hospitality and what does that mean, it doesn't necessarily always just mean like, oh, we greeted them at the door and we shook their hands in the fellowship hall and we made sure that they got on the newsletter when they checked off that little box on the website, right? That's not what we're talking about. When we're talking about hospitality, we're asking people to share something with us that they want to share, and then to allow it to settle within us as a community and allow us to be transformed. So whether that's by culture, by age, by race, by gender expression or sexuality, but we're asking, we've done this a lot, right, as you use, right? We've changed a lot. And, I will contradict Mary in one sense, is I want to be the heretic. I was raised Catholic, and I am definitely the heretic. But it's all about how do we engage in that hospitality in a really deep way, right? So what I want to talk about is we don't want to make assumptions. When I look at you, I don't want to look at you and be like and assume that you're a couple. Many of you saw my daughter when she came and sang a couple weeks ago, and my daughter was my height when she was like 12 years old. And I'll just say she had a body of an adult at 12 years old. And we would, I lived in Southern California, we'd go to Vegas. And people would walk up to us and be like, oh, would you and your wife like to sign up for a timeshare presentation? And I'm like, no, this is my 12-year-old daughter. So we don't want to make those assumptions, right? And when people walk in, we don't want to make assumptions based on what they look like, their gender, their sexual orientation, their relationship status, what their cultural background is. My husband, who many of you know, is a black man, but is also not identified as an African American. He identifies as Jamaican American, as an immigrant family, as a first-generation person. We don't want to make those assumptions. We don't want to make an assumption of what people's history is, because that erases it. So as a community, when we come together, we want to make sure that we are asking all the right questions, right? In the long term, not just that first time we meet you. And we want to balance that. One of the things that I really like to make sure that everyone knows is you have no right to know my story. So I'd like you to repeat that. I have no right I have no right to know anyone's story other than what they want to share. So, if somebody walks up to you and says, "Hi, I'm Mary Jane," we don't ask, "Where are you from, Mary Jane?" Somebody walks up to you, "Hi, or I should say, "Oh, you're from Longmont? But yeah, where are you from?" That's the question, right? We can, or the, "Oh, well, this is your family? Can you explain that dynamic to me?" I had foster children. No, I will not explain that dynamic to you because by law I can't. Right? So when we ask these things about hospitality, we want to make sure that we are engaging people in a way that welcomes, that allows their story, what they want to share, to change us as a community. That may mean our music, which I don't know what we would change about our music, so I'm not even going to go there because it's beautiful. That may mean the way we greet, where we greet, how we greet. And I don't just mean, again, in that moment. It may mean, which we have done, we provide food that is gluten-free. We provide food that is vegan or vegetarian. We provide spaces that are nut-free. See, these are all things that very simply come together that we may not even recognize are happening, right? But that is how we allow people to change us. When somebody comes in and says, "Oh, this is something that I didn't, this is something about me," and you're like, "Oh, we can take care of that. We can change. We can recognize your pronouns. We can share ours. We can see who and what and how you love, and we can recognize that. We can recognize that your cultural identity is not a monolith, and it is something to be understood when you're ready to share." So as a community, I will ask you, as we invite our new members, as we invite our visitors and our guests, that we ask them to share with us what they are ready to share. We embrace that, we celebrate it, and then finally we reflect on how it can change us. Because that's the most important part. Is we look at our community and we say, how does it change us? That's what we have been doing as Unitarian Universalists for the last 400 years. So can we commit to that? Can we commit to transformation? Yes. All right. I will let it go and say, blessed be. And maybe we can get out of here before, the 2-hour limit. For those of you who don't know, I am constantly over. So, I heard somebody say word. So, as part of our time together, we share in what is, I consider a special occasion this Sunday. We shared in, I believe, the second most sacred act that we do as UUs, calling new members, but also the most sacred act that we do, and that's sharing our lives and our joys and our concerns. If you're on Zoom, please add your joy and your concern to the chat now that you would like to share with us. Our Sunday support person is Ani Liggett. Ani is sitting towards the back of the sanctuary, I believe, because I can't see now. I took my glasses off, with the white stole on. And Annie will be at the welcome. Ani will be at the welcome desk. And if you have something that you would like to share with Ani that needs either pastoral care or some other need, please feel free to reach out. Mary will help assist us today with placing a stone to represent how our joys and concerns ripple out into our community, into our communal water. And we will hold all of these joys and concerns, all of these sharing of our life stories with us as we go forward into our weeks ahead. And may you all be continued in community for those who are sharing with us today. One more breath in and breathe out. Our chalice connects us to Unitarian Universalists throughout time and ages. And may we say these words together as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish the chalice when not of the light of truth, nor the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Larry?
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Larry Sherwood. I use he, him pronouns, and I am vice president of the board, and I'm here with announcements. I will tell you that I did arrive this morning, and there were no announcements in the script. But I do now have announcements. It would be helpful for those of you with announcements, if you would go to the website and submit them ahead of time. Okay, so there's a button on the home page or on the newsletter also. So our time together does not begin or end on Sundays. Throughout the week, there are many opportunities for spiritual growth, service, and friendship. We hope to see all of you at our annual congregational meeting and potluck on Saturday, June 6th. You won't want to miss this. Members will vote for leadership for 2026-27 and vote on the budget for the current fiscal year. We'll begin with food and friendship at a potluck from 5 to 6 p.m., followed by the business meeting from 6 to 8 p.m. Childcare will be available, and you can RSVP through a form that was sent to the info at listserv, and it will also be in Connections Weekly next week. Preserving Democracy in Ukraine committee members will be in the lobby after the service to offer Ukraine flag pins to all shipmates and particularly to our new members. You can join Mountaintop, a UU BIPOC community, tonight at 6 p.m. on Zoom for their full community celebration, including UUs from across the country. Our pastor, AJ, is their community minister. Come celebrate and greet our new members who have joined in the past year with coffee and cupcakes in the fellowship hall after this service. They will be together at tables on the stage. We invite you to stay a while after the service for casual conversation on Zoom or coffee hour in the fellowship hall. We cherish these moments of connection, and you can also stop by the welcome table in our foyer or find links in the chat to help you get involved in this community. And finally, I want to give a belated happy birthday to our pastor, AJ, from the past week.
And just so you know, at our mountaintop services, we don't extinguish the chalice. We leave it lit, so. So Mary, you were just living through what's going on tonight. I invite you to come forward, to connect with the person next to you in any way you feel comfortable, whether that's holding hands or just maybe sharing an elbow. As we leave this service and this time together, as we leave this gathering, may we carry a spirit of wonder with us. May we remember that hospitality is more than opening a door. It's opening the heart, making space at the table, and allowing ourselves to be changed by those we welcome. Today we have celebrated new covenantal members, holding that we all belong to one another. Each story added to this community becomes another thread in the quilting of love we are weaving together. Go now with hearts awake to wonder, with spirits grounded in love, and courage as sacred companions on the journey. So we say together, Amen, Amin, Ashe, Shalom, Salam, Namaste, and blessed be. We invite you to sit and remain as we hear our last piece of music.